find a way.
I work for the Samaritan Inn, and we're transitional shelter, not housing, but we are a transitional shelter. So the structure of our program is to bring in individuals that we anticipate through the intake process can be back up on their feet within about a year. That includes them being drug-free, being alcohol-free, having all their documents, being able to get those so that they can work. We are a work program, and so the expectation is within 60 days of being with us that they acquire a full-time job. Hutchins Barbecue is a huge, not only do they provide a meal, they bring enough food one night a week to our dining hall. So they feed our residents at least once. That's not ballpark, so it could be more than that. But they feed our residents, and they're in walking distance. There's probably one of the closest restaurants to us. They hire our residents all the time. Knowing that they're residents, they're willing to take the risk. But the reason is because they know us. They understand what we're trying to do, and they hire our residents and work them into that full time so that they can be sustainable. We have a handful of local businesses that really go to bat. I always get apologetic sometimes, like, oh, I'm sorry, that person didn't work out. It's really just me processing. They're always like, it didn't work out with the general population. There's people that come and we think they're going to be great, and they're not. So it's not a shelter thing. Right. Yeah. It's a human thing.
We're sitting in this office, and it's kind of dingy. There's gray carpet, gray walls, state-issued furniture, 0 windows, cubicles, some vending machines. I remember there was an old VCR in the corner, like just a state office, fluorescent lighting. He said, when a child is removed from their office, they come here. I kept looking around that office and thinking, he doesn't mean this space, because there is nothing about this space that welcomes a child. I raised my hand and I said, I'm sorry, when you say a child comes here, what do you actually mean? And he said, a little girl slept on this floor last night. That was the beginning of Isaiah 117 house when I look back, but I didn't know it in the moment, because my heart, there was a pain in my heart. My shoulders got heavy. I couldn't pick my head up. I couldn't stop crying. And I kept seeing this little girl. She was 6, 7 years old. She had lost the only mama she'd ever known. Everything she had was in a black trash bag. And she was sleeping on that floor alone. I felt the words, these are my children. What are you going to do? And I thought, what am I going to do? If you are removed and you go to an Isaiah 117 house where you are greeted by loving volunteers that say, would you like a shower? Would you like a bath? What's your favorite meal? What are the shoes you've always dreamed of having? Would you like to pick out new shoes, new shirts, new pants? Would you like a new backpack? Would you like to paint your fingernails? Let's make a birthday cake. You are loved. You are not in trouble. That puts you on a different trajectory. So here's this little boy. He's lost his family. He's been bathed in a drug testing sink. He has a roach-infested diaper bag, a nasty borrowed car seat. He's never met us. And I could not be more heartbroken for him. Like, that's foster care in the United States of America.
Wow.
And I refused to this day. In that conference room that day, I did. I thought, it's a broken foster care system. It's too big. Nothing is too big for my God. And so I will not get paralyzed. And so I put one foot in front of the other. Today, I'm going to Google how to start a nonprofit. I'm going to buy a name. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to Pam Har. The next day, I'm going to form a board. It's just one foot in front of the other. It's literally one foot in front of the other every day since January of 2017. And today, we have 57 locations in 12 states and 156 employees. And it's been one foot in front of the other. I will continue to do that. I will not be afraid, and I will not back down. I will not be paralyzed by how big the task is.
Gambling is a prescient topic, especially here in Bristol.
Nothing that we have found suggests that there's a lot of people who can gamble recreationally, just like a lot of people can have 1 or 2 beers on the weekend and don't have an alcohol problem. We find similar things with gambling. There is a proportion of people that we do worry about. And our work, the gambling clinic, we work on the prevention side. So we're trying to keep as many people in that 85% that's a social recreational gambler proportion. And you can do that by learning responsible gambling skills. What keeps me going is that we're able to help people get back to baseline and get back to their values, get back to their goals. Stories of people that call, and there's very high rates of suicide with persons that gamble. That's one of the more deadly diseases. The guilt, the shame, the isolation, it's hard to get help. There's not that many resources available for help. People feel very hopeless and that there's no way out. And that if they just aren't here anymore, maybe the financial burdens will be alleviated.
I wonder too, with substance abuse, it's people see you. Like there's a feedback loop. Like your friends can say, listen, you've drunk.
Your doctor can look at your blood work and understand.
Right. You're drinking. Well, you're drinking too much. Mm-hmm. With gambling, it can be such an isolated activity. I could ruin my life and no one else know it because I can do it on my phone.
So I guess people can approach treatment in the absolute worst place of their lives, not even sure if they want to be alive. And those people can work through treatment, set goals, work with therapists, work really hard on themselves, make changes, and leave treatment with their finances under control, a plan for moving forward, realigned with their goals, excited about the future. And that can happen in a matter of months.
I always remember what she said. She said, everything looks good from the surface, but I just got a gut feeling something's not right. She said, everything looks too good. And she said, I'm going to look into some things. What a blessing that she did, because if she hadn't have had that gut feeling, she could have easily listened to what DCS said. Well, DCS said there's nothing going on there. I could take their word for it and not really see for myself, or I could not spend that extra time doing those background checks, doing the legwork.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Jenny is the hero of the story.
Jenny, the CASA volunteer, is absolutely the hero. Yeah. She's the key. The one thing that I think, if there is a requirement that person has to have, it's that they want to help a child. They want to help a child.
Okay. Yeah.
They have a heart for a child.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you don't really have to have that, but I think that's the key, is you want to help a child. Mm-hmm. You don't need any experience in the court system. You don't need any experience in interviewing children or the child welfare system, nothing, because we train you completely. We take you through what a case looks like. We take you through how to write a report, what the court system looks like, how to advocate. We teach you about the tools and the resources that's within our communities.
Find a way.